Imagine 8 years of hard work and development going down the drain. That's a serious chunk of your life. Like if you lived to be 80 years old, the time to develop Concord would have took up about a tenth of your entire lifespan. Well, that's exactly what happened to the developers of Concord. The AAA hero shooter developed by PlayStation and Firewalk Studios is now officially dead, shutting down their game servers just 2 weeks after launch. And their shutdown has left tons of people upset and frustrated. There's a lot of finger pointing going around, and to my surprise, there is even a small subsection of scalpers who are snatching up whatever physical copies lay around and upsell them for insane prices. Let's be honest, it was inevitable that the game wouldn't last very long as absolutely nobody wanted this game to be made, but after 2 weeks, that's just embarrassing for Sony. Like, they didn't even get a chance to begin their first season of content. Nope, this game is getting canned and sent straight to the Shadow Realm. The milk in my fridge lasts longer than Concord did. But I mean, just taking a look at the peak numbers for Concord on Steam, they failed to break 700 concurrent players. And they couldn't have done it at a worse time releasing at exactly the same time as Black Myth Wukong, and totally overshadowing any marketing they could have done for the game. When the first trailers of Concord were revealed, many folks such as myself were hopeful the game would have been something better than just a Guardians of the Galaxy rip. And man, were we even more disappointed to find out that the game was going to be a hero shooter. Like genuinely, in a market saturated to the brim with hero shooters and battle royales, you would hope that Sony could pull through and deliver a stellar single-player experience like they're known for. But nope, they decided to drop this boring, repetitive game that doesn't do anything better than its competitors. And on top of competing in the hero shooter genre, they decided to charge 40 big ones for the game.
Like, I don't think you've played this game, man. Like, with how clunky the movement is and shit like that, like, it's insane how aiming with these guns, it's just wonky.
Holy. This might actually be the slowest movement I've ever seen in my life. It's like I'm on a treadmill.
So the input inconsistencies are a bit jarring.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, like it's terrible.
To put it blunt, it is atrocious.
It is possibly one of the worst things I've ever played. It's like this on PS5 too, apparently.
Like you could download any of the other ones for free and actually have fun. I don't think anyone is whipping out their credit card to purchase this game just because you put a Temu version of Yondu in the trailer. The abysmal sales numbers reach around 25,000 units across PS5 and PC, which sounds like a lot to me and you, but is nowhere near close to recouping the tens of millions of dollars poured into the game. The game was basically dead on arrival. Players were struggling to matchmake on day one or were just playing against the same people over and over again. Players were basically sitting around for 5 to 10 minutes looking for matches. I mean, imagine actually sitting there for that long just for a match of Concord. Sorry to those who bought it and liked it, but the game was so boring and bland. I would rather eat a literal sandwich than wait in the matchmaking queue for Concord. Thankfully, one good thing coming from this mess is players who purchase the game get a refund for the shutdowns. This is great for the gamers, but definitely a hard blow to Sony. I mean, they put millions of dollars and hundreds of heads together into this game, and now they are left with a hole in the ground. But I don't think this will deter Sony from looking into maybe fixing the game or canning it for a new live service. In the era of live service gaming, all you really need is one golden goose, one game to succeed that can retain an audience. So even if Sony had 10 Concord failures in a row, just one successful live service game could make up for all of those screw-ups. There's a lot of people who are actually getting up in arms over the game's complete failure. On Twitter, you can see users ranting and arguing, blaming each other and debating over who caused the death of the game. Some people blame the players, while others blame the studio for not connecting with their audience. One more crazy thing to note about this is that scalpers are coming out of the woodworks and snatching up physical copies of the game in the wake of the shutdown. Some scalpers are selling the game on eBay for insane prices after the announcements. The average price for a PS5 version of the game going for around $150. I don't know who's buying this, maybe a collector, but I don't think most of these copies are going to get sold. The most ridiculous eBay listing for Concord shows one sealed copy for sale for $25,000. I don't understand where these sellers get the gall to do this, just peeling the final layers out of this dead game to try and scam anyone into collecting this garbage. They're even trying to resell the limited edition DualSense controllers for the game at over triple the value. Despite this massive mess, the developers of Concord haven't completely closed the door on the game. Although they have refunded the game and closed the servers, the developers are still trying to explore options that can help them fix issues with the game. I highly doubt that's going to happen. I think the studio is more than likely going to face heavy layoffs for this massive failure, and all faith in a Concord return will be wiped from existence. Sony will probably move on to a new project and should honestly focus on delivering some single-player experiences. Well, that's it for today's video. If you guys have any opinions on topics discussed, please leave them in the comments below. Appreciate you guys for making it to the end of the video, and as always, have a good one.